Excelsior.
Excelsior. Great. Good. So we're here. We're back. We're here for another episode. I'm assuming we're recording. Yeah, we're recording. It's recording.
It's definitely,
We're going.
if not, full send.
Full send.
Welcome
back, everybody.
What's up?
To another episode. We got a few topics today. We have a few exciting things coming up. We have to discuss a few things that we did the past few weeks, and
then what's coming up in 2 days?
In a couple days, but stick to the end, and you'll see. I know. Where did I leave off last time? Last time we were talking about anime. We went through like a few episodes of certain animes.
Yeah.
I did start One Punch Man.
It's about time.
I'm only like a few episodes in, and I'm not convinced.
Oh my
yet.
God.
I'm like, this is kind of weird, man. So like, I got to an episode where Saitama was dreaming about like these mole people, right? And he got like super excited. He's like, "Oh my God!"
Okay, yeah, I
right.
remember that one.
And then so soon after that, the mole people become real. They come up, and he kills them instantly. And they're like, "Nope, we surrender. We're done. We're out of here." And then the one with the bee, or like a
the mosquito lady.
The mosquito lady, yeah. She comes in, and same thing. That was kind of a good little fight, you know. It's like, okay, all right. Then they go into that secret laboratory, and then they meet that big scarab-looking guy or whatever.
Pretty much the ultimate. He was designed to be the ultimate creature, the perfect, but his bloodlust is too insane, so he goes on a rampage, killing people and stuff. And
I saw that, and I was like, okay, this might be actually worth it, right? And then, again, gets to the end. You know, the guy's about to punch him. He's like, oh, my God, why is this guy so strong? What's going on?
He was able to sense it.
Yeah, sense it. And it's like, come on, man. Like, so to this, so far, what I've noticed is that there hasn't been anybody strong enough yet. Right.
Yeah.
I know you've been saying that there will be, like, eventually somebody's coming, and it's gonna, you know, make it all worth it. But so far, it's just like, I don't know, man.
I mean, it's the whole premise of the show. Like, it's called One Punch Man.
One Punch Man. And
it's not supposed to be he hits you twice,
right? but I'm actually like kind of sympathizing with the character himself now.
Yeah.
Because he's so bored.
He is.
He's
out of
so
his mind.
bored out of his mind. Like, oh my God, like there's no contenders, nobody out there can.
Yep.
And now I'm feeling the same way, buddy. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think I can continue on. But
there's gonna be an episode, and if you stick with it and watch all the way up to season 2, there's gonna be an episode where there's a tournament, and he's fighting a guy, and he tells him, "How do I get as strong as you?" And pretty much, he basically tells him, he goes,
"Oh, the mechanical guy,
No,
not the robot guy?
Not Genos.
Okay, not Genos.
No.
All right.
This will be in season 2, and there's like a tournament, and he goes, because he starts to learn about martial arts, and he goes, "Okay, let me take a look at this martial arts," because you know his style isn't very technical. It's just he can hit you really damn hard.
Yeah.
So he goes, "All right, let me." He meets class S2, rank number 2, which is or maybe 3, Wolfang.
Okay, I know I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, and he's got his style is like, you know, a martial arts style that's, you know, impenetrable.
Okay.
So he goes, okay, let me see what all this martial arts talk is about.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll meet an opponent worthy enough.
Right.
And, you know, I'm gonna try not to spoil as much for you as possible, but it gets to a point where this one dude's like, "How do I get as strong as you?" And he basically tells him, "If you want to keep having fun, don't get as strong as me." It's no longer fun.
It ain't fun anymore, bro.
Yeah, you get those opponents, you know, you at least get hurt a little bit. He goes, it's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing now. Yeah.
So
that's kind of where I'm at with the show, but I'll stick with it. You know, I'm halfway through season 1, I think, or almost a season 2. I'm not sure. It's where they meet the guy/girl. I don't know what he is. He dresses up in black and purple, kind of like a ninja.
Oh,
So
okay.
they-
Supersonic.
yeah, Supersonic. Yeah,
yeah.
that guy or girl.
It's a dude.
It's a dude.
It's a dude.
Okay, I couldn't tell honestly.
Just a very feminine.
Yeah,
looking dude.
it's like okay, all right, whatever. So they meet him, and basically, he was like, "I'm too fast for you," blah blah blah, et cetera, et cetera. And he's like, "Okay, cool, go for it." And then he starts doing all these moves, and I'm like, "Oh damn, like he's pretty fast, right?" And then he goes to go for the punch, and he's like.
Saw him coming and everything.
He's like, "There's no way!" Oh my god! But that's where I'm at with it. So I'll continue on, and we'll see.
At least
see
get
where
to at least finish the first season.
Okay.
Because at the very end of the first season, there's an opponent where, not to spoil anything, it takes more than one punch.
It takes more than one punch. All right, cool. Other one. I know we left off. We want to talk about a little bit of Pokemon. There's a lot of things going on with Pokemon now. Netflix has been dropping almost every season of the Pokemon journey.
Okay.
And I don't know if you have seen it yet. I
have not.
So you've seen the original.
The original. I grew
series,
up with
right?
the original, yeah.
How many seasons were there? There
was a lot.
was a lot.
Because, and honestly, I'll be 100% honest with you guys. I really only liked the first 151 Pokemon. Like, after that, I was like, well, hold on.
Yeah.
Why are we going to all these other, these new Pokemon? Obviously, in order for the show to have kept going, you had to evolve.
They had to.
And make more.
Yeah, they had to. They had to grow the show with new Pokemon, etc. Yeah.
But there was it got to a point where my favorites, Brock and Misty, were they left, went their own way.
Yeah, did
and all
their
these
own
new
thing.
Characters, and then I don't even know how many Pokemon there are now.
Yeah.
There's an insane amount.
I think there's officially 1,000.
Officially
1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and it's so sad because I look at the new ones and I butcher the names all the time. I'm like, oh, I don't know these names.
What is that?
Yeah. But I remember growing up, and it was on Saturday or Sunday cartoons.
Okay.
And it'd be like, who's that Pokemon? It's Pikachu.
Clefairy.
I remember watching that as a kid. I was like, oh, I know, I can name them all.
Yep.
And so, like, all these new ones, I don't know how many new seasons there are. I don't know any of the new characters.
So recently, I downloaded the Pokemon TV app, right?
Okay.
And it'll have. I thought that it was going to have every season on there. It doesn't. So I'm like, really? Like, why have a Pokemon TV app and not have every episode of Pokemon? But I was like, whatever the reasons may be. I don't know. So they have season 1 and 2. And then from season 1 and 2, it jumps up to like season 10. Has a couple seasons after that, and then immediately to like season 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I think season 23, maybe. I don't know. We're in the 20s right now.
Yeah.
About 20-ish seasons.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. But basically, right now, they're releasing all the Pokemon Journey seasons. It's still part of the canon, right?
Yeah.
What's weird about it, so I started watching it with my kids because I haven't seen Pokemon Journeys. I don't know anything about it. I haven't seen it. So I started watching it with my kids. And then I watched the very first episode. And it starts out that same day of season 1, episode 1. Ash waking up from his bed.
So is the
and
first
I was like,
season?
Wait a minute.
So what the first? I'm trying to remember what the first season was called. It's just Pokemon, right? Or was it? Did it have like
Pokemon? Was it the Kanto region or the? I forgot the season.
That sounded
something
familiar.
Kanto.
Okay.
Oh man, I'll have to
So
look
how
it
far
up.
in is what season is Journey?
Season Journeys is like season 19
Oh
or
wow,
something.
okay.
So like it's far.
It's
up there, right? So it's like the
much
newer.
late.
It's newer stuff,
Okay.
right? It's all new stuff.
And you said it started with season 1, episode 1.
Yeah. Right? So I was like, hold on. Pause real fast. Let's pause. What is happening right now? So it starts off with, it's in all new animation too. So it starts off with season 1, episode 1, Ash waking up from his bed, and if you remember, he woke up late.
Yeah,
right.
He was supposed
like,
to be there
crap.
on time to pick
right?
his Pokemon.
Like somebody that I know for this podcast right now, but
It wasn't me.
but anyway, he wakes up late and he doesn't show up in time, etc. Professor Oak is taking a tour of children before they go on their own journey to go catch all the Pokemon, right? And it kind of does like a little introduction before Ash shows up to Professor Oak's lab. And it's kind of like what happened in that little period. It's a really small period of time. And it shows a little Pichu growing up with a herd of Kangaskhan, right? So I was like, okay, all right. I see what's going on.
So
here.
they showed that there was, because Pichu doesn't come in till what? He's like the second generation of
second or third generation of Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
So stay with me here, right? So Pichu grows up with this herd of Kangaskhan's, and we kind of follow him around and whatnot, and then they meet a Mew. Episode 1, there's a Mew showing up, right? When did we first meet Mew?
The Mewtwo movie, because Mew is a legendary Pokemon.
Exactly.
The legendary Pokemon.
So we meet Mew way back when in like season 2 or 3 or something like that, or at the end of season 1
at the labs with Professor Oak?
Yeah, exactly. But no,
like this Mew
Mew wasn't not in the lab, but it was like out in the wild. And we just see a first episode, and it's like, this is way too casual right now. What's going on, right? So they show another kid, and he's like, that's going to be my first Pokemon. It's going to be a Mew, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, good luck, buddy. I don't
Dream big.
Yeah, dream big, right? But anyway, at the end of that episode, that same Pichu was like, I'm going to go out and do my own thing. The Kangaskhan's were like, no, you can stay with us. It's fine, whatever. You don't have to leave. And he was like, no, I'm leaving. And as you see him leave the cave and walk out, he gets emotional, as any anime would be, super emotional.
Has to
like
be.
Tears coming down. And he's like, it's time to go. And then you see it evolve into a Pikachu. And that is the Pikachu that runs with Ash.
Shut up.
Moving forward,
What?
right? So I was like,
Oh my god.
what the heck? So I was like, I get it. Pichu evolves into Pikachu. I get that. But it's just weird how us growing up, these were our first. We had the first 151.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the show was like, okay, well, Pikachu came from something else, but we saw that later. And then now over here, it's like, well, Pikachu started off as a Pichu.
And they're showing them, they're like, hey, these guys were here
this is
the whole time.
Pikachu's story. Yeah, this is how Pikachu kind of grew up. He grew up with Kangaskhan's, and now he is Ash's Pokemon. And I was like, damn, okay.
Did it show? Because I'm trying to remember. When he first picked them, it's been years, so excuse my knowledge. It's been years since I've seen the first episode. But when Ash goes to select his Pokemon, Pikachu wasn't in a Pokeball, was he?
No, he wasn't in a Pokeball. But basically, he was.
Because wasn't it?
Let me see if I remember right. He was caught. He was definitely caught by Professor Oak or somebody.
Because when he shows up, wasn't it like, hey, you get to select, are you going to be fire type, water type,
or grass type? And then he was like, what about this one over here? Because all the first selections were already gone by the time he got there. And he's like, well, we got this one left. Yeah. So he's like, okay, I'll take it, whatever. And he was caught. He had a Pokeball, but Pikachu never wanted to go into the Pokeball originally. So he was like, no, don't want to go in there, whatever. Not about that
Free
life.
roam.
Exactly. So then, basically, that's how it ended up happening. I think later on, it's like, okay, fine, I'll go into the Pokeball. But Ash was like, nah, you know what? You can just hang out with me.
You got a seat right here on my shoulder.
Right here, buddy. Right here. But basically, this brings me to my point in this. Was it in the same episode or second episode? I think it was the second episode. We get a little dialogue. of like Ash Ketchum, a boy from Pallet Town, et cetera, et cetera. He's been on many adventures, been on many journeys, et cetera, et cetera. He has many medals and whatnot.
Badges.
And badges and whatnot. And in this one, we're going to start a new journey. And it's like, so you're telling me that in just 1 or 2 episodes, you managed to...
And this dude's...
say that he has been on every single journey and adventure out there.
Yeah.
And now he's starting a new one, and he's still a 10-year-old, 11-year-old boy from Pallet Town.
I was like, where are you going with this?
That's the kind of that's the part that blew me apart, because it's like,
guys had a hell of a year, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, there was 2, 3, 4 seasons of him,
traveling the world.
First 151, then he got into the new Pokemon, and then some.
So I follow Pokemon on Instagram, and they announced, and this was a while back, they announced that they're pretty much retiring Ash.
Yep.
So he's no longer the main character, and they said, "Congratulations, Ash! You finally became a Pokemon master."
Pokemon Master, yep.
And I was like,
and that is this series. This
the end of that season.
Not the end, because this continues on. There's a few more seasons
Okay.
after that. They're all on Netflix right now, so you can go watch them. But it's called Pokemon Journey. So Ash begins a new journey to become the Pokemon Master. He's already had a few badges and whatnot, and now he's on that journey. So that's kind of where I wanted to see, like, okay, I want to check this out. I want to see how Ash's story ends. And that's kind of where I'm at with it. So I'm a little bit confused, just because, like, you managed to just cover 3, 4, 5 seasons of Ash Ketchum's life.
Yeah.
Into 1 or 2 episodes of this series. And now he's going on a new one, and he's still
10 years old.
10 years old. And it's like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Good Lord.
That's a successful 10-year-old.
Yeah. By God. But I know a lot of things also been going on. Pokemon Go. I've been playing Pokemon Go a lot more now. It's actually getting a little bit more fun. Back then, it was kind of like, man, like, you just catch these Pokemon, you whatever, and you didn't really understand what was going on in the game. Now, I downloaded the game again, and I started playing it. I've been playing it pretty much daily now.
Yeah.
And I actually have a better understanding on how to play, how to do battles, how to catch these Pokemon. It's like, oh, okay, now this makes sense.
So this is about the 4th time I've re-downloaded it. Get a new phone, ends up going away, and then someone convinces me to download it again.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta tell you, recently, I almost just chucked the phone in itself. Almost said, you know what, I'm going to personally delete this app. So I've caught so many Pokemon, and my bag is full.
Yeah.
Not just my Pokédex, but like my bag is full. So like I have too many Pokemon. I have too much gear.
Yep. Too many items. Yeah.
About $20 trying to upgrade it.
Mm-hmm.
The money went through. I never got the upgrade.
What?
Yeah.
Oh no.
So at that moment, I just stopped. I was like, I'm done.
We're done.
Yeah, I tried to upgrade it, and it wouldn't let me upgrade any of it. Oh, my God,
that is insane.
But it took the money.
It took it.
So at that moment, it was pure rage in me to try to stop myself from breaking my own phone.
Listen up, Niantic.
You owe me $20.
Oh man,
with interest.
I'd be furious. I did spend money on the game, and I actually did get the items, but I went through, like, so you have your in-game shop. I don't go through that shop. I go through Pokemon's actual website. They have a web store that you can buy things for the app.
Okay.
Because the way somebody explained it to me is that so you have Niantic, Pokemon Go, and anything that you buy through the app, whatever it is, Apple or Google Play Store, they take a cut of that. So they actually lose money because they have to, like, pay the app store that they got the app from to get those services. So if you go directly through their website, it's actually cheaper to get stuff, and it's actually you get a little bit more.
Yeah.
On top of that. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. So I bought a few things. And it's like, that's the only thing that frustrates me about the game. It's like that you have to pay to play.
Yep.
And that's always been like a staple of mine. It's like I should be able to like grind out certain things, especially a game of this magnitude.
Oh, yeah.
Where it requires you to go outside. It requires you to go walk certain amount of miles or kilometers, sorry. So you have to go hit these Pokestops, you know, to get some of these challenges. You have to go catch certain Pokemon, you know, to continue these challenges.
You achieved it. I'm being active.
Exactly. I'm being active. And then you're still like, your bag is full, buddy.
Yeah. For some reason, all you wanted to do was catch Squirtles. You have 450 Squirtles. Hey, man, if you want another Squirtle, you're gonna have to pay $5.99.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get a little bit more storage for the extra Squirtles that you want. Yeah, and that's kind of the frustrating part about it. It's like, come on, man. Like, I'm already out here grinding this stuff out. Just let me give me a way to like earn these coins. And actually, like, hey, let me buy this stuff. Boom, boom, boom.
I remember
boom.
when the craze came out, right? And I remember I was walking downtown with an old friend, and she had brought someone along, and she was playing Pokemon Go, and we were antique shopping. Yeah. And she pulls it up. She goes, "Oh my God, so and so's right here!" And she's like pulling out her phone. I was like, "What?
What?"
She's like, "An Eevee, an Eevee's right here." I'm like, "What are you talking about? An Eevee's right here." I was like, "Are we talking about the same thing?" Because I'm thinking about Pokemon, and she shows me her phone. I was like, "What? What's going on? What's happening right now?" And she explains to me. I didn't even know. For some reason, I was under a rock. I didn't see any ads, any commercials for Pokemon Go. Yep. She goes, "The Pokemon Go app. It just dropped today. I'm playing it." And at that moment, I was like, pulled up my app store. I was like, which one is it that I need to download?
Where is it?
And the craze had started. You know, we're out there, and I'm seeing grown adults. And oh my God, I don't even know when did Pokemon Go come out.
2016.
2016.
2016.
So I was 26 years old, and I was out there, and there were 40-year-olds running around playing it. And I was sitting there, and this guy, he was trying to BS me, and he goes, "Yeah, I don't even know what this game is." He goes, "I caught this Magmar," and I was like, "Bro, you
come on, man.
Yeah,
come on, man.
You're pronouncing all these Pokemon names pretty legit."
Yeah. Is it Magmar? Is that how you say it? Magmar.
Starts going through all the evolutions. Yeah, I caught this Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard. I was like, bro, hey, you ain't gotta lie to me, dude. Pokemon's cool. I dig it too.
It is, yeah. Definitely back then it was different. Anybody that saw you like playing Pokemon was like, look at these losers, right?
Yeah.
But for some reason lately, it's been wild. It's been out of control. Like a lot more people have been actually playing Pokemon Go. Way more. I have a guy, you know, one of our coworkers. He went out on a raid mission, right? So you have to do raids now. So he went out doing raids, and he met up with a group of people. He was kind of sketched out at first, right? He was like, "Ah, man, I don't know these people. Like, we're gonna go do raids," and basically he goes, meets them up. He's kind of sketched out, and there's like 10 cars deep. 10 cars, about anywhere minimum of 2 people per car. Minimum. So there were 2+ people per car. And then some of these people, I kid you not, had 4+ phones playing Pokemon Go.
What?
And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. He's like, nah, I'm dead serious. And I was like, that's insane, bro. That's insane.
Good night.
So they go out and they do all these raids, and the way he was telling me is that they drive up to a certain location. They do a raid. Once the raid is almost over, it's done. They're already heading out
to the next
spot. So he's driving his car. He's got his kid in the car. He's like, catch that Pokemon. Let's go. Okay, we got to go. And then they're going. He managed to catch like 20 Mewtwo's in like a matter of like a few, maybe like 30 minutes, to say that. You know, I was like, that's insane, bro. That's insane. That's crazy.
I still haven't caught a Mewtwo.
But I was like, man, so there's definitely a community out there.
Yeah.
There's definitely people out there that play this kind of stuff. And I've recently, you know, like I go to certain places, let me check. Oh, yeah, there's some stuff around here. Like, I have no shame anymore. I kind of go up, but I do it casually. You know, like, you don't want to look like a loser. There's a Charmander right there.
Off. I'm going to tell you right now, I see a Mewtwo, I'm taking off running. You're going to, if you look in the corner, I'm not on Tinder. What you see is, you'll see my finger go like that. I'm just swirling the balls, curving them, sanding them.
Throwing curveballs. Oh, but yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's insane. So I'm glad there's a community out there for people, you know, to go out there.
I like it, man. You know, like that's, like I said, that's my childhood. So I love it. I love to see that it's still alive and well.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, there's a whole new generation of people
absolutely.
that are getting into it. So it keeps my childhood alive.
Yeah,
and I'm all for it.
It's just great, you know, like the community grows with it. Like I said, all of a sudden, you know, like people just kind of came out of nowhere, out of the woodworks, and it's like, oh yeah, we play Pokemon Go too. And
10
like,
deep, 10 cars deep.
Okay, yeah, 10
each.
cars deep is like that's crazy.
insane.
But anyway, let's get down to business.
Brass tacks. Yep, let's get to it.
Let's get to it.
You guys see what's in front of us right now.
So you see that, right? I know, like we talked about all this anime stuff. You know, it's like, let's get to the good stuff. Like here we are. The Flash movie. Spoilers ahead.
Spoilers.
You already know the deal. Yeah. If you've seen it, great. If you haven't, skip ahead.
Go watch it. Pause this. Go watch it. Come back and then watch us. So I want to, you know, there's a whole lot of. I want to ask your opinion on it. There's a whole lot of stuff going around. A lot of people aren't happy with it. James Gunn's not happy that, you know, it's getting bad ratings, bad views. What did you think of the movie?
So, saying all that, right? Yeah, a lot of hate for the movie. I thought the movie was good overall. The movie was good overall. Like, I don't think it was completely horrible. There were certain things in there that I was like, this definitely should have been in the movie, and maybe this isn't the correct character for this. You know, this isn't the correct actor for this character.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, maybe you could have done things a little bit different, but being that they were trying to portray a Flashpoint paradox movie.
Yep.
They did some things right and they did some things wrong.
I agree with you.
So let's start from, well, first, what was your initial thought?
I'm gonna tell you right now. There's a lot of people that said they hate it. I think it was Kick My Sister good. That's how. I thought it was so good I could kick my sister. I loved the movie.
Yeah.
I'll fight anyone. You know, on every point for this movie.
Yeah.
Obviously, like you said, there were characters that they were trying to portray a Flashpoint movie.
Yeah. So
there were certain characters I think they should have introduced.
Absolutely.
With that being said, this was supposed to end the timeline.
Exactly.
So I was like, okay, I can. Under that context, I could see why you didn't introduce certain characters.
Yep.
But besides that, I loved it.
Yeah.
I've said it so many times. Michael Keaton is my favorite Batman.
Yeah.
Besides Patterson, you know, and everyone fights me on this. Everyone's like, Christian Bale's the best Batman. I go, listen. He wasn't a bad Batman. I'm not saying at all he was a bad Batman. He was a great Batman.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I think he was, the trilogy showed a lot more of Bruce Wayne.
Yep.
Than, you know, as much, it was like equal times of Bruce Wayne Batman.
Yep, absolutely.
As opposed to Patterson's Batman, the Batman.
Yeah.
I got to see Batman.
Yep.
The detective.
So it's when people argue, right? I want to clarify this, right, for everybody out there. When people argue about like who's the best Batman, blah blah blah, et cetera, it's like, cool, you're gonna have your opinion.
Oh yeah.
But when they ask me who is Batman, it's Michael Keaton.
It's Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton is Batman.
Yeah.
That's it. Period. Because you gotta think, right? Like when somebody asks you who's Superman, who's the first person that comes up to mind?
Honestly, it does. I grew up on Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeves, all right?
Yep.
So that's Superman for you. Anytime that somebody tells me Superman, who do I think? Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
That's Superman. That is Superman.
Yeah.
So when you say who's the best Batman, okay, now we can get into it. Now we can have an argument. Now we can talk about it. I still think Christian Bale. But again, we'll we'll save that for another one. But anyway, back to the beginning of Flashpoint, right? So we start out, we have Barry Allen, and he's kind of going through like a whole emotional roller coaster, right? His dad's about to go to trial, and there's nothing that they can do to attempt to clear his name, right?
Find him innocent.
They look into the security footage, and he never looked up at the camera to confirm that it was him. So it's like, nope, sorry, we're throwing the key away.
Let's give him a little context for those who haven't seen it, don't know nothing about it, but are still willing to listen. So the whole point of Barry Allen's life in general for his parents, his mom was killed at a very young age. His dad was framed for it. So his dad has been in prison his entire life. And the movie starts off where he's trying to free him, prove his innocence, and they have this key footage where they're like, well, he was at the grocery store picking up this can of tomatoes or something like that, and they're like, well, maybe we can get footage of him that confirms that was him. He was here at the time of the murder. But he never looks up, so they can't give 100% identity.
Yeah, they can't say 100% that was him, exactly. So then Barry, he's kind of just like down on the dumps, like talks to some of his friends, but they're his coworkers technically, and they're not really like his friends. They're just mainly just coworkers that happen to be in his life. So those are his only friends, basically. Yeah. And then he's like, he wants to talk to Batman a lot more because they are very similar in this movie. They are very similar. They both lost parents, right? Yep. Barry lost his mom. Batman lost both of his parents.
I'd be willing to say Barry lost his dad as well.
And basically. And those events are what created them as superheroes, right? So Batman losing his parents that turmoil. Turned him into Batman. Yeah. And Barry losing his mom and his dad going to prison basically led him to, because he was at the lab researching, trying to like figure out what he could do to try and exonerate his dad.
Yeah, he went into forensics.
Basically, exactly. Yeah. That was the only reason why Barry went into forensics, was to try and get his dad out of prison, name. And that's what in turn gives him the powers of the Flash, right? He's sitting there in front of the chemicals, lightning strikes, boom, right? That all being said, right? There's a few other ways that the Flash actually got his powers. Like we see in the Flash TV show, he was at the Star Labs event when the storm came in, the super collider, I can't remember.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Yeah,
it was turning and it was doing its thing. Lightning came down, hit Barry Allen.
And even in the show, he still was at the police department.
Yep.
And he opened up the gate, opened up the gate to the ceiling.
Yep.
And lightning, when I can't remember the exact name of for the thing at Star Labs as well.
Yeah, it was the collider, the super collider.
Yeah,
I can't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It was
so that event was going on, and when it happened, the lightning came down, hit Barry, and that gave him the Speed Force.
Exactly, gave him the Speed Force, gave him the powers of the Flash, etc., etc. Okay, got it. So the Flash got his powers a few different ways, different universes. No argument there. Then talking to Batman, he's like, I could go back. I can go back in time. I could save your parents as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then that's when Batman's like, that's the only reason why I became Batman, was because of the laws of my parents.
Yeah.
I didn't become Batman just for giggles.
Yeah,
just for giggles, right? I became Batman because it was a hardship in my life, and this is what I wanted to do. So it's like, okay, got it. Now we start getting into like Flash wants to do this, right? He goes in, he starts going back in time. He's starting to run fast, and he discovers that he can actually travel back in time. He can run so fast that he can travel back in time.
Yep.
And then he goes for it. He does it. And then midway through him running back in time, we see the Dark Flash, right? Basically Salvatore.
Yeah.
Salvatore comes in. I don't think in this movie he was meant to be Salvatore, but that is who he portrayed essentially.
Yeah. And at first I was like, is that the Black Flash? Mm-hmm. But it's not. It's Salvatore. Those of you that don't know, let's jump a little ahead. Who Salvatore is? Salvatore is basically, depending on if it's you're looking at the CW Flash or the movie or the comics, it's an alternate Barry.
It is Barry. But it's just from
after
an
image or a basically a different timeline.
Yep.
So that's who it is. Pushes him, like you said, he's running through the timeline.
Pushes him out.
Before he pushed him, Barry managed to make it all the way back to where he was a kid, basically, save his mom from dying. And then as he's running back saying, I did it. Now it's time for me to get back to my timeline.
Yep.
Salvatore jumps out, pushes him into a different time. So he didn't make it all the way back. He's 18 at the time.
Yeah, it was like 10 years after the
event.
After the event, yeah.
So then, he's sitting there and he's happy. His mom and dad or his dad's out of prison. His mom's still alive.
Yep.
And from there, he runs into younger Barry. He's like, how old are you? And he goes, I'm 18. I think he said he was 18.
Yeah,
right?
he was like, I'm 18, yeah.
And he goes, oh, my God.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like when we see this kind of stuff, it's like, okay, great. This is where it all turns bad, right? He's about to do the whole Flashpoint thing. Definitely the animated movie that they did is definitely completely different from this whole Flashpoint that they try to do in the movie.
Darker.
Way darker.
Way darker. I love it.
Way darker. It was amazing. But now Barry sees him. He's like, what day is it? Oh, my God, this is the day. You have to get your powers. He takes him over there. Flip-flops, the whole idea, because now it's like new Barry got the powers, took it away from original Barry.
The older Barry,
and now it's like, okay, we just created a mess. First off, I want to say that the character that they used for Barry's mom, I think she did a good job, I would say, but it was kind of portrayed wrong because Barry's mom was not Hispanic.
She was not. When I heard her speaking Spanish, I was like, time out. What?
Yeah, I was like, what? Barry Allen. I mean, come on. Like, I get it.
Isn't Barry a ginger? Does he? If I can remember correctly, didn't Barry have red hair?
I think maybe like in the comics, maybe he did, but like I've never really remembered him.
I can swear Barry is a white freckled, red hair character. I'm pretty sure. I'm willing to bet money on it. But
he could be. I mean, I don't know. I've never really noticed. I guess
or maybe I'm thinking of the Justice League animation.
Maybe so, yeah.
Because he was. But I'm willing to bet that he was a redhead.
Or maybe Thrawn. Thrawn was also a redhead, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think they're both redheads.
I think so.
But
anyway,
to get off topic, yeah.
Not to get off topic, yeah. So like that was like the first thing that I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't feel right. Like it's fine. Like you're trying to include, do a different story, include a different
character,
ethnicity, right, into the show. But if that's what you were trying to do, if you were trying to make Barry's mom a Hispanic, then you should have picked a different Barry Allen for Flash.
Correct.
You should have not used Ezra Miller to be the Flash.
Correct.
You should have picked somebody completely different that could have like actually say, I have, roots in both sides,
Yep.
My dad and my mom's side. Somewhat of a, like Hispanic American, somebody who I don't know. I don't care. My point is that you portrayed it the wrong way. It's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. I was still, it was, to me, the storyline is about her, the events that happened.
Yeah.
But with that still being said, I was able to look past it. I was like, oh, okay, I did notice it though.
I did,
but
yeah.
I was able to look past it.
I let it go. I said, okay, whatever. But that was like my first red flag in a sense, right? I was like, okay, we can move past this. The story continues on and it's fine. It doesn't take away from the story. No. It was just like character, It's like okay,
it tiny little speed bump in the story.
So go ahead. So then we move forward, right? They give the powers to them, and then we find out that that's when he officially changed the timeline, right?
Yep.
Because he gave him powers.
And now he doesn't have.
Now he doesn't have any, and he goes in. But this is the part that kind of threw me off a little bit, right? Because when they go to Newberry's apartment and they meet his roommates and all that kind of stuff, they're like, all right, so we got to go find Batman. Who's Batman? So we are led to believe that because the Newberry got his powers, is that, okay, now we change the timeline.
Yeah.
No, you changed the timeline originally when you saved your mom.
Yeah.
So you saved your mom. Now the whole timeline is completely different.
The minute, I kind of noticed it was, obviously, like you said, they're like, who's Batman? And they were talking, why? I don't even think it was basically Batman, because I think they were aware that there was a Batman.
But he was a myth. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was a myth. But they were like, Superman. They're like, who's Superman?
Yeah, who's Superman?
But then he starts talking about Back to the Future, and they mentioned, I'm going to look this up because I don't want to, I knew this fact, but it's the name that always gets me on this.
Because we know Michael J. Fox. Played Marty McFly in Back to the Future, and that's what we've always known. And then this was like a super deep cut Easter egg what they did in this movie, and actually was pretty cool because we find out that the original person that recorded Back to the Future had done most of the movie.
Yeah, so back then, and I knew about this.
Yeah.
And I just never thought that it was so cool that it was one of them Easter eggs that when they put it into this movie, I turned to you and I go, hey, I don't know if you know this, but that's real. What they're saying there. So when they made Back to the Future, it was not Michael J. Fox who played Marty McFly. The original actor who played Marty McFly was Eric Stoltz.
Eric Stoltz, that's who it was.
And they filmed the entire movie with this dude.
Yeah.
Towards the end, I don't know. There's some of the actors that I think the guy who played Biff, who he came on a podcast not too long ago, and he talked about, hey, I got this call, and they said, hey, we need you to come down to the studio, and he goes, I'm getting fired. This sucks.
I'm getting fired.
Can you just tell me over the phone? They go, we'd really like for you to be here in person while we tell you this news. And basically, he gets down in there and he goes, all right, he's trying to think in his head. He's like, well, it was fun while it lasted. He gets there and they go, hey, we had to let Eric go. And he goes, so I'm not fired? And he goes, no. You're still gonna betray Biff. But we're gonna reshoot the entire movie, but with Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly. And I'm curious now. I would like to have seen the cut with Eric as Marty McFly, but we grew up knowing Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly. And in this universe where Barry Allen came from, he knows it as also Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly.
Yeah.
But now they're saying no, it's
Eric Stoltz.
I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, dude.
Yeah, that name that's a hard one, dude.
And he goes, no, Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
And they keep telling him it's not. It's Eric. Not. And so it was at that moment he's like, what did I just do?
Yeah.
So
you messed up bad, bud. And then that's when they start going through like all these movies. Tom Cruise did not play Mission Impossible. It was somebody else. And
Top Gun, wasn't it?
Top Gun, I think. Yeah. Yep. Top Gun.
It was someone else, and he's like, I broke the timeline.
Michael J. Fox played Top Gun, and then Tom Cruise did something else. I think that's what it was, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, what?
Yeah.
But anyway, we went down that rabbit hole in the movie, and it's like, man, that's pretty cool how they did that. And then again, move forward. We're trying to teach Newberry about being the Flash, et cetera, et cetera. And then the time comes, right? Finally, let's go find Batman.
Yep.
Because Zod had come down to Earth, and I thought this part is what they did right. I think this is what was really cool, was when he was explaining that, when Zod came down, I went to go help.
I did love that.
Oh, dude, that was awesome.
He was there the whole time, and no one knew.
Yeah, nobody knew who the Flash was, but he was like, you know what? I'm going to help out. I have these powers.
He just obtained them.
Just got them.
And, he, like you said, he was there the whole time, and he was only able to, he explains through it, he was only able to save one person.
One person out of that whole.
Because he didn't know how to truly use his powers yet.
Yep.
And, so now... And it was such a bummer. Like, I felt sad, too, in the moment.
Yeah. You can tell it weighed heavy on him, You could tell.
And I was like, if he had his powers now, he could have saved them people.
Absolutely.
So, so he's going to find Batman.
Yep.
And he goes, you know who Batman is, basically? Goes to Bruce Wayne's mansion.
Yep.
And we're finally introduced to Michael Keaton.
Comes out.
Keaton. Michael
God
Flippin'
bless
Keaton.
America.
Comes out, long hair, throwing pizza slicers. Bam! He still got it. He still got it.
He still has it.
And he's basically talking to him, and he goes, "You're Batman." He goes,
yeah.
I was, basically. Was.
He's like, "Did Bruce Wayne's Batman?"
Bruce Wayne, yeah.
Like, what do you think we were doing here, man?
Yeah. And Keaton goes on to explaining, he goes, I retired years ago. Gotham is now one of the safest cities in the world.
That part right there is also another part that I was like, I thought that would have never happened.
Yeah.
I could never see that happening. Gotham being the safest city.
In all of comic books, if you was to think of the worst city possible, in my mind it jumps to Gotham.
Gotham City.
Gotham is unsavable. Yeah. It's almost, it makes Daredevil's Hell's Kitchen look like Beverly Hills.
Oh, yeah.
So, and, Gotham it's bad. It's unsavable. Basically, that's why Batman could never retire.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton's Batman retired. He did what Christian Bale's Batman couldn't do. So, other people have talked about this. Aries Q talked about this and went on the rant, and I agree with him full-heartedly.
Yeah.
My Q brother. So the only way this had to have happened was Keaton had to have stopped. He had to have broken his one rule. He had to have bodied all his enemies. Joker, done. Bodied him, killed him.
Yep.
And because if he keeps arresting them and just putting them in a cell, they'll always break out, and that's why they, Gotham's never safe, because he always comes back. So in order to have made that happen, you would have to have bodied all these villains.
Yeah.
Bane got broke.
Ooh.
Mr. Freeze, done.
Oh, man. God.
So that's the only way it would have happened.
Yeah.
So Michael Keaton's Batman
essentially ended it all.
He's the GOAT. End of discussion. There's nothing you could say beyond this point. It's done. And in fact, if you don't believe me, let's move on to prove that he is in fact the GOAT. And this has been talked about many times within the past week, but we're gonna go over it again. Moving on, he explains the timeline, right? It's not one singular line. It's not one singular line. It's like a spaghetti bowl.
Yep.
And he used that exact analogy. He's got a spaghetti, and he goes, when you went back in time, the minute you did that, you altered a whole different timeline. You now going, it's a crossroads.
Yep.
You are now going this way from here on out. And when he goes back to his own timeline, he's on a different axis. And that's when he's like, I broke it all. Yeah. Like it is not what Back to the Future explains.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then from there he goes, I have to go back and set it all right. But at the time he's like, well, before I do that, let's basically stop this Zod. Let's save your universe. And convinces Batman to
saddle back up.
Yeah, put on the cape.
Put on the cape, buddy. Let's
and
go.
Michael Keaton agrees to it. And he pretty much helps Barry get his powers back as well.
Yep.
But before they do that, they go, well, he was talking about Superman.
Yep.
And Batman was aware of aircraft entering our atmosphere on a particular date, at a particular time. And they find out that aircraft, the passenger, is being held at a Russian facility.
Yep.
So they go there. Michael Keaton is bodying everyone.
Yep.
Tearing them up, showing them he's still got the skills.
Oh, yeah.
They break into this container, and I don't know if you noticed, the container had red lights inside of it.
Oh, yeah.
For those
that's right.
who don't know, Superman has not just one weakness. Kryptonite, obviously, as we know, but the red sun.
Yeah, the red sun
turns Superman human. He has no strength.
Yep.
So they break in there, and he goes, that is not Clark Kent. That is not Kal-El.
No.
In fact, it was his cousin.
Kara.
Kara
Danvers.
Yep. Who becomes Supergirl.
Yep.
And they're like, well, we got to get out of here, kid. And Barry's still like, we're not leaving her.
Yeah.
Takes her. And the minute they get outside, Superman's strength is from the sun, because our sun is so much newer than the one that was on Krypton. So it embodies him. It just super enhances his body. That's how they get their powers.
Absolutely. This is another part that I didn't like. I found out later after I watched the movie that scene specifically, when they went to go save Kara Danvers down at that pit, it was a lot longer. That scene was a lot longer.
They cut it?
And a lot darker.
Show me
Show me now. So basically, this is from her words herself, like the actor that played Kara Danvers. I don't remember her name, but basically what she said, if they would have left all those scenes in, this would have been a rated R movie. And I was like, oh my God, are you serious?
James Gunn, you better give me that.
You better fix it.
You bet.
Well, this was before James Gunn. That's the thing. So like James Gunn came in at the back end of this, right? So to give context to everybody else as well, depending on how this movie performed, James Gunn was going to determine if it continued on and if it stays where it's at. So right now, it's not looking so good. So this is basically going to be considered a DCEU movie, like an Elseworlds,
instead of a DCU.
Instead of a DCU, and it's like, oh, okay, well, too bad it did. I thought it could have moved forward.
Yeah,
when I saw, even though like with all the things that I noticed and the things that I saw, I was like, I thought it could have moved forward. I was like, we can move forward with this movie.
Yeah,
I think so, absolutely. But basically, like the fan said, not this one.
You're all wrong.
But basically, that movie was a lot darker. She said that there were some scenes in there that were just so dark. Like she went full on ham with some of those guards, because you saw her grab one of the guards and just basically fling him across.
Tell me how Moon looks like.
Exactly. And basically there was like a lot more than that. Supposedly there was a scene where she basically comes up to a guard, and when she goes to punch him, the hand goes straight through him.
Yes.
And it's like just blood comes out, from the back, and I was like, leave it in.
I want that. And that's how Flashpoint, the animated, is basically. It is that dark, and that's why I think they should have made this a rated R movie.
Absolutely,
because of stuff like that. Even if it's not vulgar as far as language.
Yeah,
vulgar
it doesn't need to be vulgar.
No,
it doesn't need to be.
You don't need to drop F-bombs to make your point across. A fist through a body, that gets your point across. So you need, please give me that. I don't care if it's in a DVD extra.
They did say that maybe, possibly, they might add it on a DVD extra, you know, like extended cuts, you know, et cetera, but they're like, again, it just depends. It just depends on how this all performs.
And I get it. I get why she would have, because from day one of her landing, basically she was treated mispoorly. She hates humans because of that. You know, we showed her the worst that we can be, basically. And you know, Barry was the only one to show her not all of us,
not everybody,
or all that, or scumbags.
Scumbag.
So, and it was, oh my God, I lost my mind. If someone was in the seat in front of me, I'd have kicked it so hard. When he goes, what do we do now? And pretty much, you know, when Barry looked at Batman, and he's got his fist up, and he goes, what did he say? Something like, try not to die or something like that. And then moved his hand down. And then there she is, just in the sun, and then comes down and just bodies all these Russians. And I was like, yes. You know, they get...
That was pretty dope. That was pretty sick. It's like, what do we do? It's like... Don't die.
Yeah, don't die. So then they get out of there, you know, and obviously the actress who played Supergirl,
yeah.
Bravo. I thought you did a great job. There are people out there, you know, saying they didn't like her. You're wrong.
No, I think she did a great job.
Yeah.
As Supergirl, I think she did a great job. Now, that being said, she portrayed a good Supergirl. She did a great job being Supergirl. Fight scene when we get to the point where now we're fighting Zod.
Yep.
Now we're moving forward. Now we're getting there. And she goes to fight Zod. She basically lets loose when she finds out that Kal-El died at the hand of Zod when he was a baby.
Before you go any further, how did that moment make you? How did that scene make you feel?
I was like, ooh.
Personally, because to me,
man, that was rough.
That was
rough.
the moment I was like, I'm gripping my seat like, this is gonna get good.
Yeah. So at that point, her expression after she realized what he did, I was like, perfect. Yes. Absolutely perfect. Amazing.
I want to see, you know, don't just portray these characters in the cartoons or comics in the way, you know, to make the masses happy. I want to see someone who can portray the true emotion of what someone would in that moment would actually feel.
Absolutely.
And when she let loose, you know, the anger, I was like, that's what I wanted to see.
That's what we want. That's all we want. That's all we need.
Don't give me PG
no.
Emotions. Give me that rated R.
Yeah, give me that rated R. But basically, they go through the fight and just Kara could not cut it, right? It's like, dang. Even with all the anger, all the rage, she just couldn't cut it. Then you have Batman coming around. And this is where Batman's moment of shine was, right? Like,
we're back to it. Why he's the GOAT.
The plane's going down. It's going down. It's like, all right, it's been a great run.
We salute you.
We salute you, sir. And basically, he comes down, tries to crash it on the ship, and it's like, oh no, that's not gonna work because it was shielded. Barry goes back in time, comes back. It's like, hey, don't go for the ship. Do something else. Copy that, right? So he comes around, and this is where I saw your boy talking about it, right? And I was like, okay, I see his point, but also he failed the first time. So
yes, but that's because he didn't know the field was up.
But the thing is, he praised them to be, you know, it's like, okay, the greatest he did think on the spot, and he like came up with a whole plan in his head, you know, basically in a moment's notice.
Yeah.
But this was only after Flash said, don't go for the ship. Don't do it. Just don't do it.
But
because that would have been the best plan out of all of it.
Yeah.
If he could have just destroyed the ship, basically Zod would have gone down because there's no ship. You know, most of his army is going down. It's like, okay, oh crap, there was a chance.
Yeah,
but basically, he failed the first time. So I was like, okay, he failed the first time. Let's see what ends up happening now after this. Batman jumps out of the ship. He jumps on the
bigger Kryptonian.
The bigger Kryptonian.
That swole.
Big old boy,
yeah,
right?
big old boy.
And basically, he's going toe to toe with him. The Kryptonian is way stronger. Absolutely cannot. Batman couldn't hang. The only thing that's on Batman's side is intelligence and all his flipping gadgets.
I have to fight you on that one because Batman has skill. That Kryptonian was just brute strength. He was just swinging for the fences. And so Batman, being as agile as he was able to straddle that the back of that Kryptonian and just slapping bombs on him the whole time.
Slapping bombs on him.
Jump into the front side, while it blows up, jump to the front side, blow him up.
Absolutely. And I mean, that comes with experience too, right? So Batman had time that he knows all these moves, right? He can move around pretty quick. Granted, every time that he put an explosion on the Kryptonian, it wasn't working. And finally, the last one, I was like, good job. Good job. Very good job. And he plants the explosion on the back of his head.
Right before the Kryptonian just lays him down. And lays him down. Eventually, if that dude was going to if he got a hold of you, it was game over.
Yeah.
And he got a hold of Keaton, Batman.
Yep.
Chucked him, which pretty much probably internally busted everything inside of him.
Everything inside of him, yeah.
And Keaton knew that was, this is my final hurrah. And planted that charge to the back of the head.
Boom. Like rattled his brain basically, right? Because I think that's pretty much what he was going for. It's like, okay, if I can't kill you because everything is so strong, this is like the thinnest part of your body. Our heads are our thinnest part of our bodies. You have a little bit of skin, the skull's right below it. And it's like, all right, cool. Let me just slap one of these on there. And then boom,
done.
Right? Got it. Kryptonian goes down. Batman's going lights out, right? It's like, oh man, this is it. Okay, he goes out. Kryptonian stands up. I was like, damn it.
Why?
No, God, it was all for nothing. And that right there, I was like, okay. They definitely did make it realistic because, okay, the Kryptonian was way out of his league. Completely. Yeah. Did he stand his ground? Absolutely. Michael Keaton just held his own, and he said, "You know what? Cool. You might be stronger, but I'm gonna give you a run for your money."
Yeah,
dude.
I'm not going out easily.
Exactly. I'm not going out easy. So I was like, "Good job. I'm proud of you guys for doing that. That was actually bravo, right? Bravo." But yeah, basically after that, Flash continues to go back into the past, and any attempt made is just not working out. It's not happening.
Yeah.
This is the point that Barry says it can't be done.
I think the moment the moment of so you guys aren't too lost on when you're hearing us. Barry Allen's kept running because at the point there's two of them. Older Barry got his powers back by this moment, and they are both running back in time.
Yep.
And they go, okay, you know what you need to do to save Kara? I know what I need to do to save Batman.
Yep.
Let's go back in time. And every attempt they did, they ran back in time maybe 30, 40 times.
Yeah.
And he grabs Keaton Batman, and he pretty much tells him, he goes, this is it. This is it. And it was at that moment, it took Batman to tell him, to make him realize no matter how many times you run back in time, it's not going to save us. So unfortunately, this universe ends.
That moment when he said, like, I can't save you, can I? He's like, not this time.
Not this time.
I was like,
broke my heart. Broke my heart. Oh,
God.
And I understand why Kara couldn't beat Zod. Mm-hmm. Zod, she had just regained her powers.
Yeah. Basically fresh.
Within a day or two, his timeline.
If that, yeah.
And Zod has been born, genetically engineered to be a soldier, a warrior of a Krypton. So he's had countless battles before. Yeah. So even though she had gained all her strength, she wasn't winning that one.
It wasn't winning, yeah. That's basically what people argue with Carl Danvers now. It's like when we go back to Man of Steel with Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill was Superman already for a while, for for a long time.
Because at the time he's
grew
probably
up
like what? He's probably in his 30s at the moment.
In his 30s, yeah. So he grew up on Earth, with the sun just shining on him every single day.
He's had decades longer of the new sun,
of
our
that
sun.
exposure, exactly. So then that is basically why Superman won against Zod, because he already was on Earth soaking up the sun so long, but he still put up a good fight.
Oh yeah.
Once Zod came down and like got that little taste of like, oh man, there's a sun. Oh man,
this is beautiful.
Oh god,
the sun's tasty.
Cool. Now they're duking it out. It's like, wait a minute. But Superman still came out on top. Great performance by all these actors.
Yes.
All these guys, they did a great job. Ezra Miller, okay, he did good. This is the part that I have a problem with him, right? Because he does have good moments. He does have good acting skills, right?
He does.
But he's just a piece of work
of a human being. Yeah. outside of the cinematic universe, he's not a great person.
He's not a great person. And then it's like certain other movies, we talked about this before. Harry Potter, Fantastic Beast.
Yep.
Horrible. Just absolutely horrible. Like, no, that wasn't it, man. That was not it. As the Flash, you did decent. You did pretty good. Yep. This Flash movie, you actually put your best effort in.
Yep. And so before we go too far off subject, let me get to the point where I wanted to reach for this conversation. Was in the beginning we talked about there were characters that I thought, me personally, before I even saw the movie, I was like, if this is Flashpoint,
yeah,
there's one character that better show up. They showed Zod, which was cool. They showed Supergirl, awesome. Keaton Batman, yes. Flash, we are now at the point where Flash needs to run back in time, and when Keaton Batman told him, "You can't save me, not this time," he understood. Barry understood the assignment.
Yeah, I
have to fix all this. I need to go back and stop me from messing up the timeline. Dang it, brains bringing a draw. Salvatore, basically. The 18-year-old Barry is like, no, I can do this, and is running back, and he's doing it so many times. It turns out Salvatore that pushed him is that Barry, and he's been running about 1 million times. He's tried to alternate the timeline endless times.
He's been going, I think, for what they portrayed there for hundreds of years trying to save that
Batman.
Moment.
That one moment, and And Barry, older Barry goes, I have to stop this. Salvatore just pretty much
kept saying, no, I'm almost there.
I'm almost there. We could do it. We could do it.
Yeah.
And now there are 3 Barrys, basically. There's Salvatore. There's 18-year-old Barry, who at first was like, yeah, we can do it. And then when he realizes what he eventually becomes, because that's who Salvatore is, that 18-year-old Barry who keeps trying to break that timeline.
Yep.
He sees what he eventually becomes and he goes, nah, we can't do it.
We can't do that.
So helps older Barry break the timeline. He runs so fast. He's not just breaking timeline now. He runs back so fast. He is breaking alternate universes. And this is the moment where I giggled and screamed like a girl. We are now seeing different timelines. We are seeing different Batmans. We are seeing different Supermans. So they we're seeing these globes, these spheres, and they're basically different universes, and there's rips in them. The characters in those universes are noticing it as well.
Oh yeah.
So we see a tear. We see and I don't know the name off the top of my head.
Jay Garrick, the Flash. He's just from a different universe,
different universe.
But dude, when I saw him,
that was your moment.
That was my moment. I was like, yes, yes,
Punch in the air. Yeah.
Every other moment after that was just extra. Because I like literally, I don't know if you noticed me, like I saw Jay Garrick in black and white. I was like, God.
I noticed it. So and then we see the OG Superman, in the black and white, and then we see Adam West Batman.
And I was like,
damn near cried.
Nice.
Got a tear to my eye.
That
and then
amazing.
the one moment, thank God it wasn't ruined for me, because we saw it opening night basically.
Yeah.
And I saw a Superman with long hair. Didn't show his face yet, but I knew who it was. And we see spiders
That
all
was
over
funny
him.
you screamed that before they even showed his face. You were like, oh my God.
Oh my God, it's him. It's him. I can't believe it. And they show the long hair spiders crawling over him, this massive spider, and he's fighting him. His heat ray vision just goes through the spider.
Goes through the spider.
And then he floats to the side and looks through the crack. Nicolas flipping Cage. Oh my God, man. Oh, that was my
great.
moment.
It was amazing. And a lot of people, this is the funniest part. A lot of people don't know this. That was actually a movie that they were going to produce with Nicolas Cage. Yep. Nicolas Cage got casted as Superman.
They have footage of him.
They got
in
the
suit.
blessing back then. You know who gave the blessing for Superman as Nicolas Cage?
It was what's his name from Clerks?
From Silent Bob. Yeah.
Silent Bob, yeah.
Silent Bob gave the blessing. Yes, this needs to happen.
Yep.
And then basically they were like,
they went to the nerd and was like, hey,
what do you think?
What do you think?
Yes.
Send it.
Yes.
Send it.
Absolutely. And the spider, that was the plot point of that movie. Superman was going to fight an alien race of the spiders, and then the whole thing. And then I was like, and it, like, not a lot of people know that. That's what's crazy. A lot of people don't know that. And I was
people are like, why is Nicolas Cage
fighting
Superman?
Yeah, why is he Superman? Why is he fighting spiders? Really? Because back then the director had this obsession for spiders. He had like this weird obsession for spiders, and they were like, no, man, like, what are you trying to do spiders for everything? And then when they did the Superman movie, he's like, he's going to fight a spider. He's going to fight a spider. He's going to fight a damn spider. And basically, that was the whole premise of the movie. And then it just got, nope, throw it in the back burner. It's like, it's not going to happen.
And then they end up showing there's another sphere and the crack open, and you see this character brought me to tears. At this point, I got 2 tears coming down each cheek, and they show Christopher Reeves.
Oh yeah, Christopher
Superman.
Reeves, Superman, and Supergirl as well, from the same timeline, same era.
universe.
And I was like, wow,
And I was like,
bravo.
Thanks for sending that salute, that thank you for
absolutely
paving the road for what we have, where we're at right now.
Absolutely.
And it was just a throwback to the originals.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that right there, that moment, that's basically, I think that's the moment that they realized, like the screenwriters and the directors and everybody, it's like, we need to put this in.
Yep.
And this is how our movie's gonna basically skyrocket up.
Yeah.
Because that was the only part where everybody got super excited, super giddy, super like, oh my God, yes,
it was cameo after cameo after cameo at that moment.
Good job. Good job. Bravo.
Now, leading back to, like, I'm trying not to veer too far off, Savitar is the villain in this storyline.
Yep.
Flashpoint. The reason why Flash runs back in time to save his mom, the person who's responsible for killing Flash's mom and sending his dad to prison, the OG villain. And in my opinion, this guy is the worst villain. He's one of my favorite characters.
Oh, yeah.
But he is hands down one of the worst villains in all of comics. In my opinion, this guy is, and this contends with some of Marvel's villains as well. Reverse Flash.
Eobard Thawne.
Yep.
Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash.
He's basically from from a timeline in the future. Where Flash, I don't think
there was no Flash. Yeah, so like I went back and I actually looked it up, and there was no Flash in the future. Barry Allen had long been gone, either dead or disappeared. I can't remember. And basically, Eobard Thawne, he was a fan. He was a fanatic. He was the biggest fan of the Flash, and he said, "Okay." He was so infatuated with the Flash that he said, "I'm going to recreate the same accident. I'm going to become the Flash."
Yeah, carry the throne.
He did. He recreates the whole accident, gets the powers of the Flash, and now he's got the powers, right? So he's waiting for his moment to shine, right? And that one moment finally comes for him. And then what ends up happening? Barry Allen comes running from the past into the future, saves all those people that Eobard Thawne was going to save.
Ruin his moment.
Take his moment away. And then Barry Allen's like, see ya.
Jealousy.
And then just comes back. An immediate jealousy and rage just comes over this guy. He's like, I'm going to ruin your freaking life, dude.
And boy, does he.
But that goes into like a deeper
much
plot
deeper
point. Because if it wasn't for Eobard Thawne,
Flash would not exist. And let's explain that. I always mess up on that.
Eobard Thawne.
Eobard Thawne goes back in time and goes, I'm not. He realizes he's not as fast as the Flash.
Yep.
Flash is the fastest man alive.
Yep.
So he goes, well, if I can't kill you, so he goes back in time. I think to kill. I think he actually went back in time to kill Barry as a kid, and Barry's back there saving himself. Barry runs back in time with Reverse Flash and is trying to save himself from dying. And at that
we saw a version of that in the
CW, which was
amazing.
And he basically goes, all right, I can't kill you. I'm going to kill your mom.
Yep.
Goes back there, kills his mom, and, that's what sets the whole timeline. Kills his mom, and as we know from that moment, young Barry's like, my dad's innocent. That's not what happened. And, trying to clear his name. He's at the precinct. Lightning hits him. The whole timeline now. If it wasn't for Reverse Flash, Flash himself would not have happened.
Exactly.
And that is
mind
blowing.
Mind blowing. Because I told you this the other day. I still have trouble understanding the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
Because there's so many avenues for the Flash's backstory, right? It's like, okay, now you have this kid, his mom dies. Oh, I'm going to go into forensics. I'm going to save my dad, right? Oh, my dad gets out of prison. Oh, okay, cool. No, he doesn't get out of prison. I become the Flash. Oh, okay, now I can save my mom.
Yep.
No, can't save her. Got to go back into the future. Oh, can't. No, this doesn't happen. Flashpoint happens now. It's like, oh, I got to fix everything, right? Got to go back and fix everything. I can't save my mom. Sorry, Mom. Can't save you.
That's when Barry,
I guess I'm just going to have to live on with this. But wait a minute. If I don't save my mom, how? Oh, I got to go into the future.
Yeah. It gets messy.
It's
a bowl of spaghetti.
So messy, dude. It's so messy. But this is why we love the story. Because it's just a bowl of spaghetti.
And I love spaghetti.
Thank you, Michael Keaton.
And it's insane, right? So like we didn't get that character in this this Flashpoint.
You messed up. You messed up right there.
At that point, that's my flaw in this movie. Because that is, like I said, he is hands down one of my favorite characters in all of comics.
The character that causes the biggest problems.
And this Nexus event. It's insane.
Basically, you have the Flash and Eobard that are one and the same. They have to. They have to coexist in this whole timeline
in order for the other one to exist.
Exactly. And then you did not show him. You didn't even mention. You didn't even hint at it.
No, I didn't see a yellow streak anywhere. And I was like, I thought I was going to see that. And that is the moment where, if there was a reason why I'd hate this movie, that is the moment right there. You didn't give me, and like that's why, in my opinion, I think this that movie could have continued on.
Oh,
There
yeah.
could be another storyline explaining who this is. Because
absolutely.
in the animated Flashpoint, we get to see the Reverse Flash. And in fact, we see...
He was the main person.
Yeah,
We
the
see
main
him like in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
In the first 10 minutes, like boom.
And not only
there's a
that,
Reverse
that gives us a different Batman that we didn't see in this this
Exactly.
Flash, and he is the gnarliest, darkest Batman of all. Because
He's not Bruce Wayne.
He's Thomas Wayne.
Oh,
And-
my God,
my God!
dude.
And this guy does not pull punches.
Yeah.
He's the Punisher of DC. This
yeah.
dude will body you.
Like when he was fighting like that version of Harley. I actually saw this movie the other day. I was like, I need to watch this movie again. I gotta watch it again. I have to like. I saw the Flash movie just recently. I gotta watch Flashpoint again. And then he's fighting a version of Harley Quinn, and it's like, tell me where he is. Tell me where's the Joker. Where's the Joker? And it's like, oh, you're not gonna tell me? All right, cool. Grabs her, throws her off the building, and it's like, walks off. And it's like.
There was no zip line or whatever. There was nothing saving her.
Nothing was saving her. She was gonna hit the pavement. And who comes in? Cyborg. That's another character that was part of Flashpoint.
Yep.
Cyborg. We had no mention.
Nothing.
Well, he did mention Cyborg, but he wasn't created in this timeline.
Yeah.
So he did mention it. Sorry. So he did mention him, but he should have been part of. Flashpoint.
Oh, absolutely.
But basically, Cyborg comes in and saves her. It's like, oh my God. And she's like, oh, thanks, my hero, blah, blah, blah. So I know you're still going to prison, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, man, you can't just be chucking people out the roof.
Hey.
And then when he's like, you should have let her hit the pavement. It's like, ooh, man, buddy, stone cold.
That's a Batman, I would love to see into the live action. Yeah.
Oh my God,
but
yes.
We did get to see at the end of this movie, obviously Barry runs back in time and he stops himself from messing up the timeline.
Yep.
Runs back to his timeline, technically
Fix
his timeline, because he still made a minor adjustment, and you can't do that. You cannot. It doesn't matter. And this is where the whole, even if you stepped on a butterfly, you don't know what repercussions, what ripples you would have made in your timeline.
Absolutely.
Just by moving some cans. We see, he goes back to his future,
right,
and everything looks to be the same.
Yep.
The same crappy employees that are his work friends still there. He still meets what's her name? West.
Iris
West, yeah. And which is cool that they introduced her.
Yep.
His love interest, who becomes his wife.
Yep.
But he saves his dad because he moves the cans from the bottom to the top shelf. So when he looks up, bam,
like,
the camera
right
saw
there.
his
Boom.
face.
And saves
proves
him.
his innocence. And then the very end, he goes,
this is the part that I was like,
oh my God, you threw another one at me. Bruce Wayne is calling him on the phone and
say, Barry, I'm outside.
Barry, I'm outside. And, and he sees him and
man.
he goes, you're not Batman.
It's like, of course not.
And
of course, I'm not. Come on, Barry. Like, what are you talking about?
Barry.
Shut up. Camera pans over.
It's George
Clooney. Oh my God.
Oh my.
Dude. I was like, oh.
And that is how it ends.
I didn't think I wanted this. But you know what? At this point, I'm all for it. Bring back the nipple suits.
Bring back nipple Batman. We need to see a whole new.
Bring him back. I want to see the nipple suit again. Let's see it.
That was. I did not. I gotta say, of all of it, I didn't expect to see that.
I wasn't expecting it either.
I was a little sad they didn't show. There was one other Batman they didn't show, and that's Val Kilmer.
Yep. No. Val Kilmer was the only one that was like, okay.
Obviously, Val's going through some health issues. I wish him the best. Hope everything comes out better. But I thought that would have been awesome if they showed him. But with that being said, this timeline, it's still not fixed.
So this is where. So I want to clarify too that the original timeline with what's his name, gosh dang it. Ben Affleck. Oh my God, I was drawing a blank hard.
Yeah, there's a lot of names.
So the original timeline that we are told that is supposed to be the original, that technically is not the original timeline. If you think about it, because Eobard Thrawn came back, killed Barry's mom, that if his mom was still alive, that would have been the original, the first timeline. So right now, we were on the second iteration of the timeline with Ben Affleck, right?
Yeah.
Because somebody already came back to the past and messed up the timeline, Eobard Thrawn. So now that Barry went back again, just by moving the can of tomatoes, now we're on our third iteration.
Correct.
Of the timeline.
His dad needs to stay in prison.
Exactly.
In order for, he can't, he needs to go back, stop himself again from moving the cans.
Yep. But I think this time it's like they're just going to run with this already. He saved his dad. Cool, great. But now Barry's basically going to have to live with, like, all right, George Clooney it is.
It is. Yeah. Ben's gone. And it makes me sad to know that this is it. They're not going to make any iterations to this movie. They're not going to be any new updates. We're not going to see Ezra Miller again as the Flash. That's near here or there of me being happy that Ezra Miller is going to be the Flash again. But that timeline, you left me with a movie that I thought was great. So to not finish that, all we got was another Justice League.
Absolutely.
Where you didn't finish the timeline for that Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yep.
It ends right there.
Yep.
And that just makes me mad again. I'm like, quit making me good movies like this and not finishing the damn storyline.
It's like I told you when we left the movie theater. It's like, well, I guess we'll title this episode, we went and saw the new Batman movie.
The new Batman. Yeah.
Because it's like, come on, man. Like, but anyway, all that being said, the movie had good parts in it.
It did.
I'm going to mention now all the things that could have been improved or could have been that they should have included, right? So could have been improved. Barry's mom. Pick somebody else or change who the Flash was, not Ezra Miller. Number 2, Eobard Thrawn, Reverse Flash. Should have included him.
Should have.
He should have been part of the movie. That should have been priority number 1.
Number uno.
Number 3. Oh man, this was another big one. I'm drawing a blank again. Come on, Thomas Wayne. Thomas Wayne should have been a part of that movie, and Cyborg as well. It's like you gave me Bruce Wayne, cool. It's Michael Keaton, great. I loved it.
I'm not mad about that.
But Thomas Wayne would have been the one to actually fulfill this movie, right?
I think obviously Michael Keaton was the name that was saving this movie. A lot of people are like, Batman's back.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go watch this movie
because of Michael Keaton.
Of that.
Yep.
And so that's why we probably didn't get Thomas Wayne, even though that'd have been. Obviously, they didn't keep it rated R, so in that context, maybe I didn't want to see it.
Yep.
If you need, in order to bring Thomas Wayne, it needs to be a R-rated movie.
Absolutely. I think a version of Superman would have done great. Also, not Cara Danvers. She did a great job. I'm kind of contradicting myself here because she did do a good job acting and everything that she did, but a version of Superman would have been over the top, right? Because in the original Flashpoint, they did find Superman.
It was just Superman, yeah.
But he was just, a toothpick, right?
Yep,
he was so scrawny.
He was encased, never saw the sun.
And it was the same scenario.
Yep.
Same scenario. He was just kind of like encased, red sun, the whole same thing. And they let him out. He goes out, comes back. He's like, friend.
Friend. I with that being said, I still like the Supergirl we got. I'm happy with it. I have no complaints.
I like it. Yeah, no, definitely.
On Supergirl. A lot of you out there are complaining about it. You're wrong.
Yeah,
you're just wrong.
It's like, yeah, whatever.
I get it. Everyone's got their opinion on it. This is just ours. You're going to have people hating our opinions on this 100%.
Yeah.
They're going to fight us tooth and nail. And, at the end of the day, this is why we did this, because we are nerds. We love this. We love hearing your guys' opinion on the same subject.
Absolutely.
You know, this is just what we thought of the movie, what our opinions on these characters. I thought they did good. With all that being said, if you don't think Michael Keaton's the GOAT, then you are absolutely wrong. Michael Keaton is the GOAT. End of discussion. That's not even for debate. There's no discussing that one. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
That and that Reverse Flash should have been the villain for this movie.
Yeah, he definitely should have been the villain. But either way, this is what we got. We will see what happens. James Gunn hopefully will do us justice. In James Gunn, we believe, right?
In James Gunn, we believe. Give me my R-rated version.
Yeah, give me the R-rated version.
People have talked about this. There are 2 versions of this movie. There was two versions that were aired to the theaters.
No, so not the Flash movie. You're thinking of a different movie.
Which version? Oh no, I'm thinking of well, no. Why?
Spider-Man.
I want to say there was still a second version for the Flash movie.
Was there? I don't think it was.
I got a lot of information going through the brain right now. But I could swear there was a second version.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. There is 2 versions. It's been confirmed. 2 versions of the movie hit theaters, and people were like, wait a minute. This is different. I went and saw this movie, and this is different. Like, what's going on? Yeah. So they started going on to Twitter, and one of the directors or the screenwriters were like, I was wondering how long it was going to take people to notice. It's like, you son of a
you diabolical
biscuit, you person, you.
Yeah.
Good. And I think it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, like that's genius, dude. So not only are you making 2 different versions, now you're having people go in, watch one movie, and it's like, all right, I got to go out and find this other version now.
Yeah.
So now they're spending even more money to go watch this movie over and over again, basically. So I'm like, bravo, good job. But it's not going to take long. I'm sure within like a couple weeks, somebody's already going to point out all the differences.
We'll see it, yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. But either way,
moving on.
Moving forward.
Quick topic real quick. We are going, so as of today, June 29th, I think that's what today's date is.
June 29th.
Whenever this airs, by then we would have already been to the event, upcoming Denver Comic-Con.
Isn't June 29th the same day as Barry Allen hitting his accident? Or was it September 29th? That's going to bother me now.
Look that up. But Denver Comic-Con is coming this Saturday, Sunday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We have tickets to all 3 days. Unfortunately, we have to work. Well, I got to work Friday. But we will be there Saturday, Sunday. I am stoked for this. At the same time, my bank account is not very happy with what's about to unfold. There are 2 people in particular that I'm giddy. I'm nervous and excited at the same time to have this happen. I don't know if I'm going to go through with both signatures. John Bernthal is going to be there for the Punisher.
The Punisher, yep.
The Punisher, and I have the first solo appearance of the Punisher comic book.
I'm gonna look that up later.
And I
can't.
And I want to have him sign the comic. Obviously, he's not the artist. He's not the author. With that being said, when I think about who's the Punisher, he comes to my mind.
He comes to mind, yeah.
So I want to get his signature. And the second one is he's expensive. Is it worth it? Probably worth it, but lower your prices, dude. Christian Hayden
Christensen.
Hayden Christensen. Sorry, my brain went dead. Hayden Christensen. Sorry, backwards.
Yeah. That dude's out of control.
Yeah.
That dude's out of control.
It's like, what, $250 for a signature?
$250 for a signature. And it's
I get it, but you're the villain.
Right? Exactly.
You're Darth Vader. So
like, so here's the thing, right? Comic-Con, great thing, man. Like, it's dope. Like, the last time that we went on the wrong day.
Wrong day.
Basically.
Absolutely.
And it was just, what was it? It was a Friday.
It was a Friday, which is only half day.
And it was only a half day. And, like, overload.
I think that was your first Comic-Con, right?
First Comic-Con that I've been to, and I was like, oh my God, there were panels going on, all these vendors, we go, and I see this booth, right, all these swords and all this stuff, and I'm like, oh man, oh look, it's Mjolnir. Oh dude, that's awesome. Oh, you have any more of these? Oh, that's the last one.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was his purchase.
Well, thank you, Comic-Con.
But I ended up buying a saber, a
lightsaber.
Yeah, lightsaber that day.
Which was cool. I mean, either way, like I have a cool piece, I can definitely I have a story to tell about it. And it's a cool collectible, man. I don't care what anybody says, dope collectible. But basically, we didn't know going into it like how ham these places go. Like how crazy, in depth all these people go. The cosplay, oh my God, the cosplay.
I think that had been my third Comic-Con at that time. Mm-hmm. So I kind of knew what to expect. I knew the cosplay was going to be there, which I love. I love seeing not only people portraying these characters to a T, but the alterations that other people make to these characters. Hey, I'm portraying Mandalore.
Yeah,
but my own
different
idea of what I think Mandalore is.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, I dig that. I love what you do with the costume.
I love it when like when worlds collide, basically, and like I love seeing all the different Mandalorian outfits out there. There was one out there that was like a Mandalorian, suit with like Pikachu ears on it, and it's like, oh, that's pretty cool, Yeah. And then I see all the other ones, different ones, and I was like,
I think last year we saw all white Mandalore.
White Mandalorian,
helmet and a white suit.
Yeah, and I was
like,
nice, very nice, exactly. We saw Moon Knight, all just about every version of Moon Knight we saw out there, and I was like, man, this is great, this is awesome. That being said, not everybody should dress up.
Play that guitar. Play that guitar. Hit them strings. People are gonna get mad.
Listen, man, like I get it. You are a fan. You love a certain character. You love the lore, and I will not. I'm not gonna judge you for it, but you should not be wearing a Princess Leia outfit as a man out in public, man. Like, come on, dude. There's children walking around.
You're a man wearing, he said Princess Leia outfit. And
the slave outfit.
Yeah,
if you guys
the slave outfit.
You know exactly which one I'm talking about.
And you're the size of Jabba.
It's like, buddy.
That's just putting it nicely.
I mean, good for you. You have way more confidence than I do. I will give you that. But
you beat me in that scale.
Yeah, you beat me there. But listen, man, like wear some because we saw guys dressed up as female characters.
Yeah,
and there were some decent ones that I was like, I mean, hey, cool.
You fooled me.
You fooled me. Yeah, absolutely. But good job. I didn't really care.
No.
Until you see some of those ones, and it's like.
You pretty much put floss on your body. That's all you walked out the door with. You grabbed floss, put a little tape.
And you said cosplay.
Cosplay. I'm good to go. There are 3-year-olds walking around.
It's a little out of hand. So I'm sure we're going to see it this year again. We have another guy that's going as well to Comic-Con. He's taking his kid as well, and I was like, oh yeah, I hope you're ready.
I forgot Lewis.
Yeah, I was like, I hope you're ready, buddy, because
I don't know if this is your first time going.
I don't know if this is your first time or what.
Yeah, there's gonna be some head turners like, whoa,
all right. The amount of anime that we saw too, like the anime cosplays.
Oh yeah,
bravo. Overdone. A little bit too much, because you start seeing the same character over and over and over. It's like, all right. Like I think recently there was like a lot of cosplayers that did, bunch of Spider-Man outfits, and it's like, oh, Spider-Verse, great, got it, understandable. But then you have a lot of Demon Slayers, a bunch of One Punch Man, Goku, and they keep like they're in a single file line, just walking down it's like, what? what's happening?
They got off the same bus.
what's going on here?
They hit each other up. Goku this year?
Goku. Yeah, absolutely.
Which
Goku?
I won't be this year. Next year. That is my goal.
Yeah.
I will dress up as I'm gonna find me a Reverse Flash suit.
I might dress up this year. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think I have anything for this year. I don't know if I find something last minute. I'll dress up.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens. But anyway. We expect to have a lot of fun. We'll let you guys know as soon as we get done with Comic-Con, and we'll come back, do another report, do another episode. We'll let you guys know how it went, how we did, how did meeting certain people went, because I plan on meeting Giancarlo Esposito himself, Moff Gideon, or Gus from Breaking Bad, Gustavo. And Katie Sackhoff.
There's a lot of people there I want to see. I don't have enough money to see all these people. Some of you, like I said, charge too much.
Yeah, you should check your prices. Check your
I get
humility.
They make a lot of money from these events. But you're already Darth Vader. How much more do you need from me? So I might skip him, even though that'd be an awesome signature to have. This is such an understatement. I love The Office.
Oh,
so the fact that we
Stanley?
have Stanley, we have I think Phyllis is going as well.
No, it's not Phyllis. It's oh man, what's her name? The redhead.
That is
oh my gosh.
Why did you do that to me? Brain just hit like a wall. Meredith.
Yeah. God bless America. And oh boy himself too. The chili guy.
Oh, Kevin. So I can't, I kind of want to go there. I have an Office mug, and I would love to get all of them to sign it.
That'd be sick. That'd be pretty dope.
That means that mug will never touch my lips again, or anyone else's. That thing would probably be framed. I think it'd be cool to get all their signatures in a photo. But this, it's going to be overload. My brain's going to be scrambled because we're going Saturday for all the signatures, and then all the whatever comics I want of mine to get signed, and then from there. Sunday is going to be just free roam.
Yep. Go to panels. Go hang out. See what's up, and
drink some cold brews and
enjoy the moment. Absolutely. But that being said, we have to sort through a lot of comics.
Yeah, I brought my comics here, so we
have to make a list, and we got to prepare for Comic-Con. So, thank you so much for listening listening to us once again.
Just ramble on.
And just rambling on. And if you love The Flash, let us know. What did you like? What did you hate? What did you want to see? And just be a nerd.
Be a nerd.
And
let it out there for the world to see.
Absolutely. And just to leave on a good note, in Nicolas Cage, we believe as well.
Oh yeah. There's only one Superman now, and it's Nicolas Cage.
That's it. When you think of Superman now,
it better be Nicolas
Cage.
Thanks, guys, for listening. If you've listened this far, thanks for watching. If you've watched this far, subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a like button if you enjoy the content and stuff we talk about. We will catch you guys next time on Nerd Mythology. Peace.
Peace.